Hey there, stampers and crafters, and welcome to our class today. We're going to be playing with the August Paper Pumpkin kit called the World's Greatest. And I have to say, just adding into the World's Greatest, I think the Paper Pumpkin kits are part of the World's Greatest. We are going to jump right in today and go right down to the fun. I'm going to tell you in a few minutes, stay tuned, how you can win one of these, and also let you know that if you love what you see, I do have a couple of kits, not many, and a couple of past kits that I just recently found for sale on the resource page, which you can get to in the link in this video's description or by going to stampwithtami.com. So the kit starts with the box, which we love, and we always repurpose these and do some fun things with them. This is August 2020. And the stamp set that comes with it this time, it's got a lot of great things here. This is really a shout out to, and you know what, I'm thinking of our first responders right now. Obviously, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I'm thinking of a lot of people that have really given their all and really done so many awesome things throughout this past few months. So I think that there's so many ways to use this stamp set here, but it's also good for, mom. You've got teacher on here, which I actually think a teacher is actually a first, right up there with the first responders. But there's things here for other things and for your sports fan, and there's all different things on here. So we're going to play with some of this today. I'm also going to make an alternate card today to the kit. Every month there is a baby ink spot. These are so great to, especially if you're new, the Paper Pumpkin kit is a great way to build on your collection. But in addition to that, they're great for traveling. You can throw everything that you need comes in here. Just grab a pair of scissors and go. Even the adhesives are in here. And you also build on your ink pad collections. These take the same ink refills as the larger pad. So pack point, it's a different color every month. That's our color this month. In fact, it's part of one of the colors of this kit. So I'll give you a little lowdown on what's in here, and then we'll get right into stamping. So it comes with the instructions. They're on the inside, and they've got this great little measuring ruler on the bottom in case you missed that, so you can measure your ribbon. First of all, you don't need these instructions. Just check them. Not really, don't. But I'm going to show you what to do, and as always, I'm going to make the mistakes for you so that when you make yours, if you haven't made them yet, you won't need to. That's what I'm here for. On the back of the instruction booklet, it's going to tell us everything that's included in the kit, but it also gives some alternate things that you can make with the kit as well as what I'm going to show you today. I have a fun card to show you, so stay tuned for that. First of all, let's see what's in this kit. We have got card bases, so this kit makes 9 cards. So we've got 3 of each card. There's 3 different card bases here. And while I'm going through these, I'm just going to pull out one of each, because we're going to make one of each and do some stamping. In addition to the card bases, we'll just go right down the list. We've got the ink spot. We've got printed envelopes. Now, do you see these envelopes? Wicked cool, right? They actually match the cards. So there's, the 3 different patterns that we're going to be using on the cards in the envelopes. And then we've got printed die cuts. So we've got vellum die cuts. These are very, very delicate and beautiful. They're leaves here. I'm going to show you a fun thing that you can do with these with my alternate project after. And then we've got some different die cuts in here. So there's for each different card. In fact, you know what? Let me just go ahead and pull them because we're going to use them, right? There's 3 of each because we have 3 cards. We've got a trophy. And we'll go ahead and pull one of each of those. I know I'm not even showing them. I'm just whipping them out, right? This is going to be a watercolor wash background. And then we've got some labels. We've got 3 sheets of these labels, so I'm just going to put that whole sheet aside. I'm assuming we're going to use that whole thing. And we've got these gold, whoops, throwing stuff around here, gold embossed labels. So these are sticky. Yes? Yes. Are they? No. They're not sticky? Not sticky. We'll make them sticky. I couldn't tell. I guess they're not stickers. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to make them stickers. We're going to turn them into stickers today. We're going to do a little magic with that part. All right. Oh, good. Sherry, good timing then. She says she has opened her kit, folded all the cards, And that's about as far as she's gotten. So that's punched all the labels out. Then we are ready to rock and roll, Sherry, because you might as well just pull it right out and we can make it together. All right, moving on to what is included here. We have the ribbon, and that is Pacific Point as well to match our ink pad. And we've got star sequins. Gotta love these puppies, right? I'm a sucker for embellishments, and especially when they're foil, and stars are just, I mean, they're just calling my name right there. All right, now we have, this is kind of cool how they did this. So we've got the, oops, sorry, dimensional's already popping off on me. We've got, these are mini glue dots. So adhesive actually comes in the kit. I'm not going to use these though. If I can help it, I like to use my seal adhesive. So it's just easier, or my mini glue dots on the roll. But if that's all you have, they work just fine. We've got 3 of these windows because we're making shaker cards. Woohoo! That's fun. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you. There's 3 of these foam frames that are made. And look at this. The dimensional is actually, it's actually made out of the dimensional. How cool is that, right? So there's a frame made out of the dimensional pack. I love it. And it also, if you wanted to make more of something similar, we sell foam sheets in my online store that you could cut with the rectangle dies to make this as well. So that's kind of cool too. So we'll hold one of those out. And do I have it all? We've got our adhesive, our dots, and I think we are ready to rock and roll. All right. Oh, I got sticky stuff on my table. I think I might have to put a piece of paper down here. Let's see if I got something I can clean that off with. I don't want things sticking to it. Oh, no, I guess we're good. All right, we're good. Carry on. All right, so any bets on how far I'm going to get in this instruction booklet before I start going off-roading? I saw Beth saying there's a lot of ways to go off-roading with this kit. So let's see what we can come up with. The first thing it tells us to do is to stamp our sentiments. So what I'm going to do is take out the labels that we'll be stamping. So we've got, it looks like maybe, are we using all of these? Looks like maybe that's 2. So maybe there's, you know what, I think there's 2 cards on each of these die cut sheets. So I'll just pump out half of that sheet right there for one of each of these cards. Now, if you were making them all at once, punch everything out. And then it looks like we want 2 of these pretty vellum leaves. Just be gentle with them because vellum is a delicate paper to work with, so you don't want to rip it. But it's so pretty. It makes everything go cool. All right, there's 1 and 2. And then I'll put this aside because I'm going to show you something cool to do with this in our alternate project. Stay tuned. Okay, so the instructions say stamp our sentiment. So it looks like we're going to stamp on here, and I'm not, okay, so this goes in here. I just want to do our sizing because I want to make sure that I use the right sizes. Okay, I think I got it. All right, I'm just, you know what, it did not say to do this first, but I'm already doing it. I'm going to go ahead and fold these card bases so I have them out in front of me so I, have an idea when I'm working here, which one I'm working on. I like to do that. It helps me stay focused on which one I'm doing. Okay, so we're back to what we were doing. Sorry, ADHD just popped in full force there, and we are stamping sentiments, and I was just kind of lining everything up so I knew what to stamp. So if this is your first paper pumpkin kit, you are going to get a block with it. And if it isn't, you can continue to use that same block for all of your paper pumpkin stamps. You get a new stamp set every month. You're going to get new greetings. They're photopolymer. And I also have a downloadable sheet. In fact, I'm going to show this to you right now. I have a downloadable sheet that you can print out to put inside. Oops, let's see. That's not it. There we go. Okay. All right. So the downloadable sheet is going to go inside. This is a little form that you can print out, and it's going to go inside a stamp case. Oh, that's next month's. But hey, you know what? You want to check that out too, because we'll talk about that after. It's cool. But this is the downloadable PDF. I have this on the resource page for you. There's a link, and you can download the last couple of years of them if you want to store your stamp set on the shelf with all the rest of your stamp set, so it's all nice and looks good on your shelf, and they don't take up a lot of space, and you know what you've got. You can see them really quick and easy. Okay, back to the stamping. Back to our regularly scheduled stamping. Okay, so it looks like we're going to take I'm not going to use the word coach. I'm going to use the word friend. They use the word coach, but you know what? We're making this, so, and I am using blocks that I already have. This is obviously not my first paper pumpkin. And I have a collection of blocks that I like to use. So I'm going to be using those. Now, I'm going to use this, but I want to make sure. So this block is not quite big enough, so I'm going to swap around. There we go. And it looks like we are going to use the words, you're the best, you're the bestest. I don't know if bestest is a word, but I'm using it anyway. I have been known to make up my own words. There's nothing wrong with that, right? All right, let's have some fun. So next up, we are going to take the ink pad, and I'm just going to use, instead of opening that, I'm going to save that and put it with my collection of mini ink pads. And I'm going to use the full-size Pacific Point and do some stamping here. So the You're the Best, I believe this is going to go on the, you know what? Let's do this first. I think it's the ribbon part. I'm going to do that first and then stamp You're the Best in the middle. Okay, so that goes on the larger circle. It's cut just to fit that perfectly. Oh, thank you, Rue. She says, I love your videos. That's really sweet. Thank you. Then we're going to stamp You're the Best right in the middle. This is really pretty. I like that ribbon. And you know what? Pacific Point, everything looks good in Pacific Point. That's a great color. If you're wondering which color to get next and don't have it, recommend. Okay, so for the little one, we are stamping. Oh, I don't have a sentiment for that one. Okay, so two things that accompany your paper pumpkin kit. They're not included, but I think they should be. One is a Stampin' chamois. Makes it easy to clean these, and then you can reuse your block, especially if you're new, because you'll be using the, reusing your block throughout the kit, and it's nice to be able to easily do that. And let's see, You Deserve a Medal is the one we're going to use. The other thing that I find super important is to take your pick tool. And I will show you how to use that very shortly. Okay. You deserve a medal. Bestest is a real word. Oh, thanks, Linda. That's awesome. Okay. I do feel better that I'm not making everything up. Okay, so this last one, this here is like the ribbon that holds the medal. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on this strip here. It's like a big label strip there. Oh, Terry, you are too sweet. Oh, thank you for saying that. She says you deserve you receiving a hero card because you're the best. That you just made my day. Thank you for saying that. That's very, very sweet. Okay, I'm going to put this aside and let's see. Here we go. So, next step we've got here, it says, step 2, set aside approximately 30, oh, there is no way I'm counting those sequins. We're gonna guesstimate on that one. To embellish card fronts, assemble shaker card and adhere foam. Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right, so we are going to, let's see, it says adhere foam adhesive to the front of the card base. I love shaker cards. Do you guys love shaker cards? Okay. So it's the white card base that's going to be our shaker card. So let's move these guys. Okay, that's going to go with that one. This is going to go with that one. And this is going to go here. Just so I have everything. Where does this go? I don't know. We'll come back to that. Okay, so adhere foam adhesive to the front of the card base. So that's these cool things here. Only it's sticky on both sides and it's got a protective wrapper on the sticky. Only peel one side off first. And we are going to go ahead and line that up with the front of our card. It is a little forgiving if you need to move it around a little bit. Just don't press hard. Once you press hard, it's there forever. There we go. Okay. And we're going to pour. Okay, so basically it says leave a few out. Don't use them all. If you're doing 3 shaker cards, don't use all of your cool little sequins here, because if you do, you're not going to have some for to decorate the front of your card. So I'm not counting 30 out. I'm just going to kind of wing it. Say that looks like a good amount to use. And I did get my clear sheet out. Thank you, Sherry. Okay, so that's coming next, right? So now I'm going to peel off the top protective backing. The reason why I say don't do that first is because when you're pouring out your stars, you don't want them to stick all over the foam adhesive. Like they are staticky. That's all right. And it's okay. It's all right that they're stuck in there. I'm not going to bother peeling them out because it's all good. Okay, so once we've done that, now we put adhere pattern paper frame on the top of that. So the pattern paper frame for this card is right here. And I like that they made the best use of this because we're going to use that again. So this is the frame, and honestly, there's enough stick outside of that window sheet that I don't even need to put adhesive on this pattern. It's going to stick because the window sheet left a little bit of adhesive showing on there. And that is the basic to this shaker card. How easy was that, right? That's a super easy one. They're window sheets. The clear adhesive sheets are window sheets. Sherry was asking what they were called. Okay, so then it says adhere the pieces. So now we're going to put our labels together. So we've stamped our labels and we're going to put them together. We're on step 3. So far so good. I'm still following the instructions. I can't promise I'll stay there forever, but for now. All right, so I'm using my Stampin' Seal. If you did not have another favorite adhesive handy, there is mini glue dots that come in the kit. So I'm going to attach that to its border frame. And you know what? I think I just realized where that that little gold piece goes. I think that goes underneath here. Yes? No? Sound about right? I guess we're going to find out. Okay, so for adhering, then we're going to adhere these two together. I'm going to put that on the gold, but then we're going to use our Stampin' Dimensionals to give it a little pop. I love dimensionals. I purchased these in bulk. I like to say I eat them, but not really. I mean, I don't really ingest them. I just use so many. I love pop. I think it adds a little special something something without having to overdo. Okay, so we've got that one ready. And this little guy, the friend, we are going to stick on top of our trophy. So that is the word that goes inside the trophy. And you know what? It looks like we should stamp something in that trophy. I think I missed that part. But I really feel like I want to stamp something in there. So, best, world's greatest, of course. We have to use that phrase because that's what the stamp set was named. That's what the whole kit's named, right? So I'm going to take Pacific Point. I'm off camera, sorry. Ink that up and stick it right in the middle. There we go. Much better, right? Totally better. Okay, so this, let's see, we've got this sheet is going to go, that's going to go there. This is going to go here. Yeah, no, I'm backwards. I'm backwards. Yes, no. Green, yellow, yellow. Okay, I'm just kind of lining up where everything's going. It is so pretty, isn't it? I totally agree. Rita says that ribbon on the You're the Best card is so pretty. I just think this stamp is really cool. Okay, so on to step 4. A lot of times I go off-roading way before this step, so I'm pretty impressed that I've actually just made it this far. So it's saying to cut 3 inches of this ribbon, which is really easy to do even if you don't have a ruler handy, because like I said in the beginning, we have a ruler on the inside of this instruction pack right here. It's right on the bottom there. So we want 2 3-inch strips per window card. So if you're making all 3 together, you're going to cut 6, but I am only making 1 at the moment. And so I'll cut 2. And then just to make that fun tail at the bottom of the ribbon, just fold it in half. And then take your scissors at an angle and boom. I'll do that again here. And boom. Okay, and then it looks like we are going to adhere these 2 gold pieces to the top of the ribbons. Using the mini glue dots or another adhesive if you have it. Your choice which adhesive you are using there. So, stick 1, 2. Okay. And I feel like I just want to go ahead and finish this card, right? I mean, I just feel like we're just so close. Okay, so I'm going to take, you would take your glue dots. I'm going to take the seal adhesive. I can't help myself. I've gotten to the point where I just got to go off-roading now. I'm going to lay these 2 pieces of ribbon out how I want them. I'm going to put ribbon on top, adhesive on top of one of them and lay them. Maybe a little bit like that. I want mine, I'm putting mine at a little bit more of an angle than they're showing. So I've put adhesive on the back of this as well. Boop. And then let's go ahead and put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of that puppy. And this is going to go kind of up here towards the top. And then we've got cool little stars, little shaker card on there, card number 1. And then we'll move right over to card number 2 because I've already stopped paying attention to the instructions. Sorry, I hope I don't miss a step. Now this one's a landscape card, so it's going to go like this. And we want to stick, I think I am actually for placement going to stick these pieces of vellum to the back of this strip. I'm not sure if that's what I told you to do, but that's what I'm doing. So again, mini glue dots if you got them. Let's go one up like this. And okay. So I think now all we need to do here is assemble. And then these go on with dimensionals to make them pop. If you are adhering your vellum directly to this piece and using the mini glue dots or even any adhesive, just be careful to make sure that the adhesive is hidden because that does show through. Which is kind of why I wanted to attach it to the back of this so you won't see it. I got that. And then we are going to attach here. Boom. So I already have dimensionals on the back. Okay, I'm going to adjust that a little bit. I feel like that's popping off the top. So let's see if I can make that go down a little bit. I'll tell you what, I'm using the new Stampin' seal. And when you had snail, it wasn't quite as strong as the seal is. And it was a little forgiving, like if you needed to move something around, you could. But with the seal, it is super strong. So you got to really be careful when you're repositioning something, which I do quite often. Okay, so the last card that we're going to do here, looks like we are going to cut another piece of ribbon. Let's see, 3.5 inches on this one. So we'll take out our little ruler, 3.5 inches. I'm kind of going back into the instructions for that. Look, did you see that? Off-roading and then back on the road. On the road again. All right, so we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to fold up that ribbon and cut at an angle to get our banner tail. Okay. And then we can go ahead and assemble our pieces. I think our ribbon, I want to put down flat, but let's actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to put this down flat. I think they actually might do something a little different with it. They might stick it to the back of this guy, but I'm going to do it slightly different. So let's line that up there. So I'm going to want this to go right here, and I put adhesive on the back of it so it's laying down there flat. And then I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals on the back of this, these pieces here, to make them pop. Just peel off those backings and they will stick. This one down. It does not matter what order. You could put the trophy on first and then stick it down, or go this way and go either way there. The order wasn't as important. And then this one down. And then it says, using those mini glue dots, you can stick a couple of these star adhesives around here, and they're super cute. I'm saving mine though because I want to use them for something else. Because, you know, I'm a sucker for those things. So these are the 3 cards that the kit made. It makes 3 of each of these guys. So adorable, right? Okay, so I promised you something super cute, but first I also promised I would tell you how you can win one of these kits. You can purchase one of these kits by going to stampwithtami.com if you would like to purchase one, but if you want to take your chances at winning, which absolutely you should do anyways, even if you already have it, because we always want extras, right? And I understand we're not going to have refills of this kit. I don't think they're going to be doing refills for a little while longer. So you want to subscribe to this by the 10th of each month to make sure that you get it. And you can do that at stampwithtami.com and click on the link that says Paper Pumpkin, and you can either subscribe or you can shop in my online store and buy them one at a time. Your choice how you want to do that. But you can win one by leaving a comment on this video, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, whether you're watching live or the replay. I will draw the winner on September 4th. And if you just can't stand it and know you need to have it, go ahead and hurry over to my resource page right now, because I don't think that the couple that I have there are going to last very long. They're adorable, right? Okay, so, and then after I do this, I mean the alternate card, I know you guys are going to be like, oh. Okay, so I actually saw this and done by somebody else, and I just thought that it was absolutely awesome. So I thought, let's go ahead and make that. So it shows some cool stuff too. I'm going to take one of these watercolor wash backgrounds, and I'm going to use, you know what? Let's see. Do we want to use pack point or do we want to use green? Now we'll go ahead and use this one. Okay, and I'm gonna shake things up a little bit from the original here, and let's go ahead and take this guy and our chamois. If I called this a Stampin' Scrub earlier, I apologize. This is the chamois. Oh, thanks, Yoli. She says these cards are cuter than she expected. They are. You know what? Every month they get, I just feel like they get better and better. Okay. So let's take one of these circles and yeah, do this. Stamp that right on there. And then I'm going to take one of the smaller circles, right? Because we're going to layer this time. I'm going to layer this on here. And you deserve a medal. I'm going to use that one in here. Oops, that one inside the smaller circle. And put some dimensionals on the back of that to pop it up. Okay, and let's go ahead and take one of those blue circles that we played with earlier. And we'll hold on to that for assembly in a minute. Okay, so next up, I am going to take, and I just washed this off with that chamois while I was talking away here. That is such a great idea. Tina says she's going to try to save her kit to take with her on vacation this year. You know what? And it's a great idea, and it gives you some fun things to do. You can even do them in the car. You know, you get a long car, if you don't get car sick, that is. You get a long car ride. It just really is nice to have. I like to stamp and do puzzles sometimes. You know, when you go, not when you're going on the adventurous, when you're going to Europe and all over the place, but obviously we're not doing that right now. When you're going on the relaxing vacations, that's when these are the best. So I stamped the, this was the ribbon for the metal. At least that's what it was. That's not what it's going to be though. It's going to be something else. So I'm just gonna trim that out with a pair of paper snips. Do I like using the chamois? Yes, I do. The chamois is so easy, so simple to just whip out. And I still have Stampin' Scrub. I use Stampin' Scrub too, but I only usually use that if I'm using a permanent ink like Stays On. Chamois is just so much easier. I don't have to spray anything. I don't have to, it's just boom, done. And I feel like it does a really nice job. And you might have noticed that I cut my chamois in half. I'll show it to you. For those of you who use the Stamparatus, the stamp positioning tool, I have these cut in half so that you can just wipe it. So, you know, when it's on the plate, your stamp is on the plate, you can just wipe it clean if you're doing two different colors. I mean, you don't have to cut it in half to do that, but I thought that it made it so much easier. Just another cool little trick that you can do there. Okay, so I've trimmed out that little piece. All right, now I also promised that we would do something really cool with the vellum, something different. In fact, this was just a question that was asked in my my Stampin' group, my demonstrator group, where we're talking about vellums, and it was somebody who hadn't really played with it before, and she wasn't sure if you could stamp on it or if you could do fun things with it. And can I just tell you that Stampin' Up's vellum cardstock is made to be stamped on. It is made for color. It will obviously be a little bit lighter than your regular cardstock, but that's its purpose. We make it special for that. You can emboss on it, heat emboss on it, and it won't curl, which you can't say about most other vellums. Okay, so we have our vellum leaf here. I've got a sponge dauber, sorry, that was my Boston accent, and an old olive ink pad. So I'm going to take that dauber, stick it on my finger, and we are just going to make some color out of this leaf. So I'm just rubbing some of that color onto the leaf. One thing I will note when you're stamping or doing what we're doing here on the vellum, it doesn't dry as quick as like cardstock would. It does need a couple extra seconds, so just be mindful of that when you're using your fingers and smearing it around, that you might get some on your fingers if you do it really quick like that. Okay, so it's going to be darkest on the side that you did it and a shade lighter if you flip it over to use the back side. But now you have colored vellum, and you can do that in any color. Oh, thanks for the hearts, you guys. All right, so next up, but wait, there's more. I'm not done yet. So let's go ahead and attach these two pieces together. Oh, hopefully I can get that off quickly. Yes, that was the wrong side. In case you were wondering, I wanted the blue side to show. All right, this is the one that I wanted to put dimensionals on. We're going to really have this popped up. I wasn't, oh, I got a couple, like a twins there, twin dimensionals. I wasn't kidding when I say I love dimensionals. I love dimensionals. I mean it. All right, so these two go together on there. And I'm just going to put that aside for just 1 second. And I'm going to go ahead and place this down just with some Stampin' Seal. You could pop this up too if you wanted to, if you were really feeling poppy. And I'm going to go ahead and take this guy. And let's place this over here. Right now I am going to use mini glue dots. I'll use the ones that I have here already. You can use the ones that come in the kit too. Let's go this way. So I'm going to do the darker side, the side that I actually sponged. Just a reminder, careful with the glue dots in there because the adhesive does show through. Alright, so let's go ahead and sneak that underneath. Cool, right? And then we'll go ahead and stick that right there. Let's do that a little higher. Over here. And then there was one more little piece that I wanted to do on here with this guy. And that is, I felt like the leaves needed some berries. I feel like that still needs to go a little bit higher. Let's see if I can move that up a little bit. I'm kind of going on the fly here, so I had, I saw the idea and I was like, I love it. Yeah, I like that better up top. I'm like, I love this idea, so I want to do something with it. So I just grabbed the pieces. I didn't actually pre-plan it, which is not something I normally do. So let's see. I want this to go, yeah, right there. Does that work? Kind of just reworking a couple of the pieces there. Perfect. Oops. I want you to stay down. Stay flat. I'll give you a glue dot. It wasn't the natural bend of the vellum, so it wasn't happy with my new, the way I formed it. Oh my goodness, you do not want to stick to that glue dot. Okay. So now, like I said, I felt like, and what I'm playing with right now is a berry. I felt like these were berries. And so I took some of these red rhinestones. Remember I said there were two things that you want to accompany your paper pumpkin kit. If you're brand new to stamping, take your pick tool and the chamois. So this is why you want to take your pick tool. Also because it has a spatula in case you make a mistake, you can really easily, oops, sorry, that's stuck on there. You can lift that back up again. I'll stick a couple of berries. Okay, so if the sticky end doesn't want to cooperate, you can always use the pointy end to pick these guys up. And we're going to put some little berries on there. I wanted this to be very special. How many berries you add to yours is totally up to you, but I wanted mine to be really special. So, when you're done, we've turned our ribbon into a vase. We've colored our vellum with just a little ink pad there to turn it into a green leaf coming out of the vase. We've got some berries on here. And it's almost like this is growing right out of the vase, our ribbon here that says you deserve a medal. Or you could stamp something else in there if you wanted to stamp it with, if you wanted to have it for another occasion, you could put happy birthday or something else in there. And we have a super cute alternate card. So I hope you have enjoyed that, and I hope you have enjoyed our presentation with the actual cards that came in the Paper Pumpkin kit. So we've got alternate, and I'll take a picture of the alternate now. I will post that on stampwithtami.com. Excuse me, stampwithtami.com tomorrow morning. You will find it there along with the supplies that I just used to make it. And you can find the information on this paper pumpkin. I'm not even sure, there may not be any left. I posted the link to purchase them on my store right before I started this video. If you want one, hurry up and get there. If you leave a comment, you will be entered to win the drawing. And the very last thing that I wanted to share with you before we close is next month's kit. Let's see if I can get to. Well, actually, no, I wanted to share. Please subscribe because I love you and I don't want you to miss the fun. So make sure that you do that. But it was actually the paper pumpkin kit that I wanted to share with you. I kind of went over it really quickly when I was looking for something else, but this is the September paper pumpkin kit. If you loved what you saw, if you love, I have all kinds of galleries and videos every month using paper pumpkins. Sorry, things are falling. It's a ghost down here with me. Things are falling. I'm not even touching them. And you can subscribe on stampwithtami.com. You can see my previous month's videos. You can see previous alternate projects and learn all about the kits there. The deadline for the subscription for September is September 10th, providing they don't sell out before then. All right, well, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you've had fun. Have a great day.